Hi, I'm Ricky. Okay. So today we're going to talk about different types of coworkers. So let's see. All right. So let's talk about the first one here. Okay. 附和者. Okay. So when you think of like when people are saying yes all the time, of course that shows consent all the time. So we're going to have yes man. All right. Okay. And the second type of the coworkers, I think most people hate them because like they are very malicious and they're always mean to you, okay? And they will never say something like in front of your face and then just stab your back all the time. So we have another word. Backstabber, okay? So they're holding a knife and stab you from your back. So that's why we have the word backstabber, right? Okay. The third one, of course, you know a lot of words to mean like to refer to complaining, and yeah, you can simply just use complainer. But let's have an idiom, okay, here, okay. So you ask people to face music, to bite the bullets, and then you ask them to shut up, okay? So you constantly hear people say that, especially in the movies for Americans, and we have the word suck it up, okay? So when you hear people tell you to suck it up, that means stop moaning, okay? Just face it, all right? Okay, so that's what we do for the and then, oh, yeah, the fourth one, I think a lot of guys will love it because, oh, well, when girls dress up and they always look glamorous, and then we'll call them, we'll actually have two words here. One is fashionista, okay? Well, I think you can tell that it's not from English, it's Italian, okay? So when you put ISTA after a word, and then that means kind of like a specialist or an expert, okay? So we call these kind of people fashionista, all right? And then, well, we actually can have another word for that, okay? And it's kind of an insect. We call them fashion bee, okay? Well, yeah, bee has a lot of meanings, but here we're talking about those people who dress up for themselves, all right? And then, okay, let's move on here. Well, I believe that some of you heard about like brown nosers and stuff like that, but actually we have a new word for that. We call these kind of people who always brown-nosed people, especially their superiors. We call them lapdogs, okay? All right, yeah. Lapdog is usually like a smart ass, something like that. Okay, and then number 6, okay, 偷懒鬼, okay? Here, we talk about, we ask people to stop being so lazy, okay? Of course, we don't use the word lazy. We have another word for that. We call slacker here, all right? And why do we call them slacker? Because it comes from the idiom here. We have the word. If we ask people to stop being so lazy, so tardy, and then we have the word like don't slack off, okay? Slack off means like stop being so redundant, okay? And next one, we're moving on to the people, okay? So we're talking about the seniors in your company, okay? So they are like just the soldiers. They're very experienced in the army, and then we actually have the word veteran, okay? So veteran, well, originally that means the old soldiers, the senior soldiers in the army, and we can actually use that word to refer to the people working in a company for a long time, all right? And then, yeah, so let's talk about this, okay? So when we're talking about the people working in a company for a long time, we're talking about the life expectancy, well, yeah, in the company. And we don't actually use life expectancy because when we're saying life expectancy, that usually means the actual years that people can live. So we don't use that word here in the company. We use the word like longevity, okay? Yeah, of course that comes from the word long, okay? So if you're working in a company for a long time, then we use the word longevity, all right? Okay, and last but not least, we're having the last words, okay? well, a lot of people in Taiwan, okay, are working so hard, okay, so we call them like, it's actually a combination of two words here, like someone who got drunk, we call them like alcoholic, right? So you can actually like, okay, you are drunk and then you don't know what you're doing and then you're just so engrossed in working, then we have the word workaholic, okay? Yeah, well, mostly like in American cultures, like we don't do that because like when you work so hard, I mean, even over the time, people that you are not very efficient, okay? Anyway, so that's why a lot of people would think that Asian companies are like 血汗工厂, right? So what do we mean by that, okay? Of course, you work so hard and then you might get injured and then you bleed, okay? Most of the time, but you sweat, okay? So we use the word sweatshop, okay? So, well, I think a lot of countries like in Thailand or like in Cambodia, and then there are a lot of factories there are very notorious for being sweatshops because they're torturing those like child laborers all the time. So the Western world just keep attacking them for that, all right? Okay, so yeah, that's it for today. Let's wrap it up. So we have types of coworkers, and I hope you enjoyed the lesson and remember everything here, all right?